3, 2, 1, go. Alright guys, and we are back with more Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, and we're right where we left off with Jack Marshall being the delusional. So let's get it, let's go. You're gonna have to do better than that to break a tape. Unless you have hard evidence proving I dressed up as the victim. I can't say I particularly care for your uncooperative disposition. I can't say I care about your beard, but you don't see me complain. Well, Mr. Wright, do you have any evidence proving beyond a shadow of a doubt that Officer Marshall dressed up as the victim? Well, who am I kidding? I don't have anything like that. I can see the fear in your eyes, partner. Seems you're the one who could take the desert heat. This can't be happening. Like, go on. So obvious he's the one. What can I do? Uh-oh. Look at that look. Looks like your lack of experience has finally been exposed. I'll pass on to you. Someone told me when I was just starting out. When you run into a wall with no place to go, return to the basics. The basics? For me, that would be what Mia used to tell me. Beautiful. Look at her. Try thinking outside the box. I should look for proof that Officer Marshall was in the disguise. Or rather, I should look for evidence that came about because he was in disguise. Why do you think this locker was open in the first place? What do you mean? There was no reason for Officer Marshall to open his locker at the time of the crime. Yet he did, despite the chance of it might being discovered later as it has been. Which means he didn't originally plan to open his locker. According to the defense's argument, Officer Jake Marshall dressed as Detective Goodman at the time of the crime. Then after the crime was committed, he opened his own locker for some unknown reason. The fact that a white cloth is sticking out of the locker seems to indicate that he opened it in order to put the cloth inside. So, just what exactly is this piece of cloth? Perhaps the video is the key to all our unanswered questions. I don't have any evidence, so this video is my only shot. Very well, let's take yet another look at this video. After committing the crime, the witness opened the locker to put away the white cloth. Please show us why the witness had to open his locker. Now, is this gonna go back to what I was saying earlier in the trial when I was saying he got cut? See, look. There's gonna be some blood. You see that? Oh, shit, I meant to rewind. God damn it, was the pause. Right here.
Take that!
For some reason, you disguised yourself as Detective Goodman and entered the evidence room, though I don't know what end yet. However, something unexpected happened, and I must be right about this. Officer Meekins barged in on you. When asked to show your ID card, you pulled a knife on him. However, he fought back. Officer Meekins panicked, and the white coat you were wearing was soiled with blood. I was right. A bloody white coat, and it wouldn't have matched the description of Goodman. You couldn't just walk out like that. So you hid the coat in your locker. That partner. Yeah, buddy. Now then, Officer Marshall, are you ready to tell us the truth and the whole truth? Looks like I underestimated y'all. I hope you're happy now, Mr. Edgeworth. 2 years ago. They probably gonna hit us with that song. Blum, blum, blum. I just feel like it's coming. If you were only half as persistent then as you are today, we all wouldn't have to be here now, would we? Officer Marshall, tell the court what you did. All of it. Alright. Seems the time has come. Marshall's confession. Uh-oh, the music. I had to do it that day. I couldn't just stand by and let it die. I stole the detective's ID and dressed like him. I planned to take out the evidence. I wasn't expecting Officer Meekins. I knocked him out. Managed to escape. I knew which areas wouldn't be caught on the camera. There wasn't any murder in the evidence room at 5:15. So the supposed victim was really you. But there's one thing I still don't understand. Traces of a large quantity of blood were found on the floor of the evidence room. If no one was murdered, then how could that be? Officer Meekins managed to cut his own hand. My guess is he's the donor. It was way too much blood for such a small donation. Alright, let's get it. I had to do with that, Jay. I just couldn't stand by and let it. When you say it, you mean the case. Do you even have to ask, partner? SL9 incident. 2 years of past case was closed. It was going to completely end with the transfer of that day. Not if I got anything to do with it. That incident's not over. What did you hope to accomplish by sneaking into the evidence room? When a case is closed, only that case's lead detective can look through the evidence. So he pretended to be so he could look through it. I wanted to have a look at it myself one more time, no matter what the cost. I don't care what it is, partner. That case is mine. But Officer Marshall wasn't in charge of that investigation. Goodman was. Why does he care so much about it? That day was my last chance. That's why I stole the detective's ID and dressed like him. I planned to take out the evidence. Did you disguise yourself as Detective Goodman? But I didn't make it look like Goodman was carrying out the evidence transfer. I'd be arrested for stealing evidence, which wouldn't get me anywhere. So you did it to fool the security camera and the detective's ID card. I saw that the morning of the incident. So that really was why Goodman started filing out that lost item report. I returned his ID card. I left it on the floor in the prosecutor's office parking lot. The ID card I found was left there by him. So, essentially, you managed to succeed despite your lack of foresight. What do you mean, partner? I mean the fingerprint activated lock, of course. No matter how well you disguise yourself, you can't change your fingerprints. Under normal circumstances, you wouldn't have been able to open that locker yourself. But he could because a rubber glove just happened to get stuck in the door. That means Detective Goodman must have opened the locker before Officer Marshall. I wasn't expecting Officer Meekins. I knocked him out. You pulled a knife on Officer Meekins and tried to drive him off? Let's just say I was a little surprised. I only plan on being in the evidence room for no more than 5 minutes. I didn't think anyone would actually come in during that short time. Officer Meekins certainly is a 1 in a million type of person. Mistaking a detective for an intruder and demanding to be shown his ID. I have to think a little more about his raise this year. When did Edgeworth get so much influence? Anyway, he threw himself at me and I ended up cutting him slightly. I'm sorry it had to turn out that way, with me knocking him out and everything. By the way, what happened to your knife? Oh, you mean this one? I don't know what to say. So you knocked Officer Meekins out and managed to escape. I know Jerry's wouldn't be caught on camera. So you did your research beforehand. Those who go into the desert unprepared don't live long, partner. I didn't think it would make a difference though. Security tape is erased every 6 hours. If all had gone as planned, no footage would have been left. However, you bloodied your coat and you struggled with Officer Meekins. If someone was in the security room when I came out, the jig would have been up. I opened my locker and what else? He was sleeping like a baby. So what you're saying is, on that day, there wasn't any murder in the evidence room at 5:15. But the blood found at the scene certainly indicates a crime took place. What do you want? The victim shown on that tape is me, and I'm not dead yet, partner. When I opened that locker, the evidence was already gone. What? Mr. Edgeworth, where is that evidence? Still missing, Your Honor. Detective Goodman's locker was already empty. Someone else stole the evidence? Officer Marshall, me and thing? Sure, fire away, partner. It's a free country. Just remember, I'm also free not to answer. Why did you do this? Somebody killed. I think it's related to him. I think his name is Marshall. I think Neil Marshall or something like that. See that? Neil Marshall. And it's crazy how trial data, Edgeworth, and the witnesses are Alana and Emma Scott. And Gant is involved, Alana Sky is involved, Goodman's involved, Jake's involved, and Angel Star is involved. Like, everybody's involved. That's crazy, right? Why did you do this? Stealing a detective's ID? Injuring a police officer? This is no small affair. There's the song. I called it. So if they're playing this song, this has to be his brother or something. It has to be. This is a good ass song, dude. Moreover, officer yourself. This will have serious consequences. You can't deal with a simple cut in salary. Not that salary cuts are ever a valid option. Like I said, your case, this one is mine. And I'll do anything it takes to get an answer I'm satisfied with. The witness has an unusual amount of zeal. I can't just forget the SL9 incident. You know why? But that case was solved 2 years ago, wasn't it? That's the reason the evidence was stored in the evidence room. Joe Dark was convicted for his crimes. One thing I can say for sure is he deserved his sentence. I remember the Joe Dark case. It involved serial murders, didn't it? I don't intend how it turned out. But there's something that still bothers me. Something went down at that trial. Something no one will talk about. What? Something no one will talk about. What happened? I don't know. That's what I'm trying to find out. Why is he so concerned with that incident? Maybe I should present him with what I think his real reason is. I had a feeling we'd wind up here sooner or later. Everyone involved here, told you, everyone involved here is related in some way to that case. I better take a little look at the files. Exactly.
Get that motherfucker!
Officer Marshall, I think I'm beginning to understand. I think I know why you care so much about this SL9 incident. Sounds like you've been sipping too much cactus juice, partner. Nah, I get the SL9 incident file here. The name Marshall is mentioned in here. Yeah, and a list of murder victims. Neil Marshall. Are you related to this man? Neil Marshall? Yeah. I'm sure you've heard the name. 2 years ago. Oh, did you see him? Wow, did you see him? Okay, I'm making that the thumbnail. Did you see it? It was super fast. He received that same lousy prosecutor award you got. What? He was a prosecutor. He must be talking about the King of Prosecutors award. Now I remember, Prosecutor Neil Marshall. He handled the SL9 case before I did. That's right, he was killed. And the case fell into your hands. But what's his relation to you? He was my brother, I know it. Oh, he took his head off. Damn. Well, I knew it, but god damn it, he took his head off. He was investigating the murders with Damon, I don't know why I keep wanting to call him Damon Gant. Damon Gant, the then Deputy Chief of Police. The group of detectives I was part of worked under them. We were desperate to prosecute the killer. Oh, he looks crazy. Joe Dark. My brother fought Dark and was killed. That was the first time Dark left behind any evidence. But unfortunately, it was all we needed. Damn. His brother had to die for this man to be put away. He was arraigned and incarcerated. The case was finally closed. At least according to the public to the public records. Wait, what do you mean? My brother couldn't have been killed by Joe Dark. I knew my brother better than anyone. No one could have beaten him in a fight. And that's it? That's your reason for your insane actions? There's more to my brother's death than what the records say. No matter how much you try to hide it, you can't fool me. Ooh, the resolve just came through in this man's voice. Uh-oh. Well, at least one thing's for certain. Now we know what happened at the police department on the day of the crime. That was the last day the SL9 case could be reopened. Not satisfied with his resolution, Officer Marshall planned to steal the evidence. Disguising himself as Detective Goodman, he entered the evidence room. Officer Meekins confronted him, so he rendered him unconscious and fled. Yeah, this mystery is finally been cleared up. No murder actually took place at the police department that day. Huh? The things that happen by chance never cease to amaze. At exactly the same time as the murder at the prosecutor's office, this fake murder was going on at the police department. Yes. Oh no. It's gotta be more than just that. So, if no one was murdered at the police department on the day of the crime, that means the murder in the prosecutor's office parking lot was the real one. Which in turn means only one person could have committed the crime. Back to my beautiful baby Lana Sky. Damn. Objection! But wait, a verdict wasn't reached in yesterday's trial? Oh. Which is why we examined the incident at the police department today. But there's only one reason the defendant was not convicted yesterday. There yet remained the mystery of a simultaneous murder at the police department. It seems to me this boy's got the jaw on you, partner. All of the mysteries at the police department have been resolved, no doubt about it. Our sole murder took place at the prosecutor's office, and the only suspect is Lana Sky. And the testimony of Miss Angel Starr is completely incontestable. You have a response? Make it a single word or less. I rest my case. Bro! Oh, that was funny. It seems the trial has reached its conclusion. There's no room for doubt. Well done, Mr. Wright. Thanks to you, I didn't need to waste my time. Disproving the alleged murder at the police department? Wait a minute. There's no doubt what I proved today is true. The apparent murder on the security camera's tape was really fake. But I didn't realize that would end up proving Lana guilty. Now then, the time for the verdict has arrived. The court is the defendant. Objection! Oh my god! Your Honor, wait! Emma! The defense has an objection, a scientific objection. Right? What do you mean, right? Mr. Wright, are you this girl's guardian? Your Honor, all I'm asking is for a minute of your time. Please hear me out. Mr. Edward, please. I don't want to leave any loose ends. You want a minute? I'll give you 3. I was kind of in shock. I mean, finding out the SL9 incident referred to the Joe Dark killings. Now that she mentions it, her name was there too. The names of both Scott sisters were in that file. But that's when I figured it out. What Officer Marshall was trying to do that day. So I knew his fingerprint had nothing to do with the crime. That left only one thing. The other handprint. You mean the traces of blood found in Detective Gumshoe's locker, right? But no fingerprints were found on it, right? No, but I figured if I examined this scientifically, I'd be sure to find a clue. So I ran over there and I looked at it again. So you did find something? No. Huh? Sorry, I guess I'm not much of a scientific error after all. She's lying about that. Yeah, she's lying. Is that all? Please don't be mad. I'm just a high school student. And I'm just an attorney. But Mr. Wright, those traces of blood are the only clue we have. If we can't find something wrong with him, please, Mr. Wright, you're a professional. If anyone can save Lana, it's you. Me? Oh shit. Time's up. Now then, Mr. Wright, with regard to the incident at the police department, does any reasonable doubt remain? It appears the defense is troubled by the other blood mark. Looking at the floor plans, a handprint was discovered around here. Is there a problem with this? Mr. Wright, I'm sorry I can't be of more use. But still, you can't find anything wrong with the blood mark. Lana will be... Please answer my question, Mr. Wright. We don't have all day. Yeah, Your Honor. If ever I needed to concentrate, it's now. What could be wrong with the handprint on Detective Gumshoe's locker? Would there be something I'm missing?
Objection!
This handprint left at the crime scene clearly shows a contradiction. The only thing that seems clear is that you're grasping, Mr. Wright. You've been staring pretty into those floor plans. Tell me, is there a problem with them? Yeah, this is strange. Take a good look at these floor plans, eh? Something is missing. Missing? You mean something hasn't been drawn on there? Yep. Yeah, something that, when drawn, will completely change the meaning of the blood mark. Let us pray the defense isn't simply trying to buy time. Very well, Mr. Wright. With all this evidence here, there's gotta be something I can use. The question is, which item can prove something is missing at the floor plans? The glove? Oh my god, look, was allegedly dancing in the evidence room at the time of the murder. What about that piece of plywood? Blue Badger, mascot of the police force, defender of truth, guardian of proof. Explain yourself, Mr. Wright. Please look at the floor plans of the crime scene. The blue badger is not here. So watch what happens when we put him in. This is where he was dancing at the time of the crime. Well, what? That's right. So as long as the blue badger is dancing here, it would be impossible to place a handprint at this spot on the locker. What? Oh shit! So that means, just exactly what does this mean? It means it can't be done. Wait, what are you saying? Blood traces were undeniably found on that locker. Don't look at me. I didn't put it there scientifically. Emma? On that afternoon, Officer Meekins was the one who brought the blue badger to the evidence room, right? After he put it down, it would be impossible to leave a handprint on that locker. So that must mean this blood mark was left there before the blue badger was brought in. Wait a minute. Wait. I will not allow such far-fetched balderdash in my courtroom. Yeah, it may sound far-fetched, Your Honor, but it's the only possible explanation. On February the 21st, in the police department's evidence room, blood was spilled not once, but twice. But how? One time was captured on this tape, taken by the security camera. Officer Meekins cut his hand, from which a trivial amount of blood fell. The problem is, the other time. Someone bled prior to the struggle shown on this tape. It had to have been. Detective Goodman, when he was really murdered. That's ridiculous! I refuse to accept your absurd claim! The murderer portrayed in the security tape has been proven to be a fake. However, that does not explain the blood mark found on the locker. So then, assuming this murder you purport really happened, when did it take place? I demand you show evidence that proves when it occurred. When did the first incident occur? To summarize the defense claim is that prior to the Very well, then tell us, when did this first incident occur? Proof that shows when the murder took place. There's only one piece of evidence that can show that. Now then, will the evidence please present its evidence? What shows when the first crime took place? Okay, now that's weird because it says Von Karm was on here a lot, but They just said that his brother got the award too. So like, huh? Y'all know what I mean, you know, right? That's weird. If the crime took place inside the evidence room, then the killer would have had to enter it. And in order to do so, an ID card would have been required. An ID card. Oh, the ID card record. Officer Meekins brought this blue badger panel into the evidence room at, let's see here, 4:50. Crime took place before that time? Then it would be 4:40 p.m. Miles Edgeworth, just what have you done? I never would have figured you had the nerve, boy. Drop the act, witness. It doesn't take a lot of thought to figure it out that it couldn't have been me. Nope, I ain't getting it. I'm afraid I don't understand either. It's clear from the luminol test that blood was there. However, when the second crime took place, both Officer Meekins and Officer Marshall failed to notice the blood. Well, that means the blood for the first crime was wiped away by the real murderer. I would have had just 10 minutes to murder the victim, carry his body away. That's not enough time. Carry his body away and clean up the mess. Unfortunately, that's physically impossible. That would mean the crime must have taken place before Mr. Edgeworth entered the evidence room. Well, let's look at the chart again. Right. That's what I've been looking at from the very jump he said. And yes, I am sick if my voice sounds a little weird. You know, my Nagato voice isn't like coming in as clear as it could. I'm kind of sick. My little nephew, he got me sick when I was babysitting. But, I should be okay in a couple of days. But, yeah, 7 sevens. It's amazing. Right, talk about a lucky number. But wait, that doesn't make sense. How could Detective Goodman have entered the evidence room? Since there's no record of his card being used beforehand, he must have entered along with the real murderer. That's the only plausible explanation. He went in with 777. Oh my god. Wait, Mr. Edgeworth, please look into this ASAP. Find out whose ID number is 7777. That's 7 too many, Your Honor. Unfortunately, I'm unable to look up the owner of that card, at least at present. What? Explain yourself, son. The ID number belongs to someone with a rank of captain or higher. What if it's that Gant motherfucker? Someone who is a so-called executive officer. We don't have the authority to inquire into such a person's identity. Fuck that. But that's ridiculous. Just how? I'm not finished talking, Mr. Ray. There is one situation in which we can be granted such an authority. Is an official charge filed against an executive is accepted. An official charge. You're all alike, aren't you? With your cover-ups and your forgeries. That's how the prosecutor's office operates, huh? We throwing shade. I take pride in my work, motherfucker. I would appreciate it if you keep your slander to yourself. Slander, is it? Okay, let me ask you this. Yeah? No, not to you. To her, the defendant sitting over there. Your own little executive. Look, Anna?
Objection!
Don't be stupid. She's been charged with murder. Of course we've looked up her ID number. And it's not 7777777. Don't play me for a fool, partner. That's not what I wanted to ask. All I wanted to know was one thing about that incident. The SL9 incident, huh? Answer me this, Chief Prosecutor. In the trial 2 years ago, did you really only... That's some scary shit. To be continued. Oh, she's so beautiful. Oh my god. Do you need the witness to repeat his question? I heard him fine, Mr. Actor. 2 years ago, I was the prosecution for that trial. At the time, we felt the powerlessness of the law. At least, I did. Lana, a prosecutor in order to suppress crime with the law. But before I realized it, we were the ones being suppressed by the law. Defendant, just what are you? I'll ask you again, Chief Prosecutor. During that trial 2 years ago, did you really present all the evidence in court? Don't you look me, an investigator in that crime, in the eye and say that you did? Chief Prosecutor, you didn't. I don't have to, Officer Marshall. Why won't you answer him? Drastic crimes require drastic measures. That's just the way it is. We did what we did in order for him to get the verdict he deserved. But Lana, even if it involved forging evidence. See, that's what I'm talking about. No! Oh my god, they are going crazy. Oh, look how beautiful. She's got something in her hand, you seen that? Lana's remarks caused quite a stir. The chaos in the courtroom could not be quelled. The conclusion of the trial would have to wait until the following day. Let me see. Yes, sir. Did you see she had something in her hand?